welcome to my channel and another video, this time where I will be making a hexagon granny stitch cardigan. I have made a couple of these in the past, one I left with bell sleeves and the other one I gave away, so I really wanted to make an autumnal one for myself. And I have been inspired by Craft and a Cuppa, who has an amazing YouTube tutorial here on YouTube, of course, and in that it's very suitable for beginners, and she talks you through how to create this granny stitch hexi cardigan. It's very popular, this kind of pattern, this tutorial, and it is really beginner friendly. Anyone can make this. If this is your first project and you really want to dive into a wearable, definitely one I would recommend. So the yarn I'm using is in raspberry shade, and it is Bramble DK. I think that's King Cole Bramble DK. Now, I would show you the yarn. I have 4 balls of it. However, I filmed this intro when I was about to create the cardigan, and then I've somehow lost it. So this is actually future Chloe telling you what I will be doing when I've actually already done it. So yeah, I used 4 balls of this. I wanted to see how little I could get away with using, and my previous hex cardigan was fine with 4 balls of yarn, 400, so that's 400 grams, plus I also got 100 grams for the ribbing as well. And I'm using a 4mm hook. I think that's all I need to share. I will get on with the making of it because I haven't started it yet. And then I will fill you in with the progress of how that is going as we go. Hello again. So I finished the 2 panels of my cardigan, and here they are. And the second one's done as well. I will put a little video here of me filming them because it's a little easier to see when they're laid out. I've done 22 rows of this hex cardigan in the round, is that right? It is round, isn't it? Yeah. And it is coming out a little smaller than what I've done previously, and I only did 20 rows of the granny stitch in this particular one. This one's a bit harder to see. This is not quite the style I'm going for, so this one I left the cuffs very open because I really liked kind of the retro, is it bell sleeve look for this one. But the size of this is what I'm going off, and it's a similar size, so despite the fact that this is also DK yarn, it's just slightly smaller. So yeah, 22 rows in this one, but I only did 20 in this one. The colours are going to get confusing, aren't they? And in my old one I did 8 rows down the back as well to join the 2 panels together, make it a little bit wider, so I think I'll do that. However, I was also thinking, because I've got this much and this much yarn left to finish the sleeves, to do the back, and if I do want any length on the bottom, I definitely won't have enough yarn for that. But I was thinking I could do some sort of granny square in the middle. I'm not quite sure what would match this, something simple, probably something with white yarn. I'm thinking maybe a brown yarn that I could match with a ribbing if I've got enough of a particular brown yarn somewhere. So I might do that. But so far I'm really enjoying it. It has been a project that I haven't had to sit down and think about once. It's something that I've just done on the go. So it might have been travelling somewhere or playing a game. I've just been able to pick this up and do it mindlessly. So I've done 2 full panels of the cardigan without ever feeling like I had to sit down and do it. So now, however, now is the part where I have to think about it and start adding something to the back to join the 2 panels together. So when I've worked out what that's going to be, I'll come back to you then again. Just a quick update in the evening. I have started joining the panels together. I'm just using slip stitch to join them together. I've got about halfway down the panel when I realised, see if I can show you, they're completely different sizes. Looking at the video that I've done already back, I think I have said that both panels are different sizes, but in my head they were the same. In my head they were both 22 rows around. I'm sure I double checked and counted, but no, I was wrong. One is 22 rounds and one is 23 rounds. But I have done an extra 5 rows here on both of them. So on the one that I still have the yarn attached, thankfully that's the smaller one. So if I frog back them 5 rows, do one more round, and then there'll be 23 each, and they should be the same then. I just don't understand how I didn't see this before. I laid them out together next to each other. It's just annoying, isn't it? But other than that, it's fine. Right, see you later for the next update. Here I am trying on the cardigan. I have joined the 2 panels together, so I'm testing the fit. And I am quite happy with the way they look. I just need to add some length onto the sleeves so I can begin the ribbing. The sleeves are done. All 4 of my 100 grams balls of yarn are used up, and now I just have to do the ribbing and the buttons. So I'll show you the sleeves. Here they are. From where you last saw when I finished just the 2 panels and crocheted them together, I've now done 14 more rows of the granny stitch, and as you can see, it's not as long as it could be. I'll show you a bit better like this. So it's not too far off. I do think the ribbing is going to have to be quite long on the sleeves, but I don't mind that. I quite like a puffy sleeve and then a lot of ribbing on the sleeve. I think that'll look quite nice. And then I've just got to do the ribbing here and add the buttons, and at the bottom as well. The length is quite short. It's definitely more of a crop jumper. Again, quite happy with that. I like the way that will sit on me, hopefully post-pregnancy. And then with the ribbing as well, I think that'd be a really nice length. So I'll get started on the ribbing. I didn't do the panels, what did I say, granny squares in the back. It's just not what I wanted. I wanted it to be just this colour. I thought it'd be just too much with how variegated this yarn is, and then the granny squares as well. So I have just slip stitched. Did I slip stitch? Yeah, slip stitched crochet down the back of the panel. And I was tempted to use brown for the ribbing, but I'm going to use white because that will, I think, tone it down a little bit, and I think that'll be really nice. So I'll meet you back here when I have done some of the ribbing. I've now completed the ribbing on the front and the bottom part of the cardigan. I just have the sleeves to do and the buttons to add, and that is everything, other than weaving in the ends, of course. So for this ribbing, I did 10 up and down single crochets in the back loop only, and then for the buttonholes I just chained 2 and skipped 2 stitches. So that was nice and simple. It didn't take too long. The sleeves are going to have to be longer. I'm going to try doing 20 chains or 21 chains to start with, and then 20 single crochets in the back loop only for the ribbing, up and down. And then I always forget what I like to do for how many slip stitches I like to do in between, in between the up and downs, to get it cinched in. So I like a really nice cinched sleeve, but I obviously don't want it too small to not be able to fit my hand in. And every single time I do one of these sleeves, this must be the 3rd time now. I did one with granny squares, I've done another hexi cardi. I can't remember how many I skip. I remember I did 7 at one point, I did 5 at one point, but I'm sure it took me 3 attempts on both of them. So I'm expecting it to take me 3 attempts again today. I'm going to skip 4 and then skip 5, then 4, then 5, and see how that works. And then if it's not cinched in enough, I'll just take it apart and redo it. On the plus side, at least I only have to do that for one of them, because then I just do exactly the same thing on the other sleeve. I'm only a little bit worried about the 20 chains being a bit too long, especially after blocking, so I might make it 15. We'll see how it goes. I will let you know. Oh, also, yes, I did go for brown, you might have noticed.
So I did an Instagram poll because I could not decide whether I wanted brown or white for the ribbing, and brown massively won, and I agree. I think it does look really nice with these autumnal colours here. So I'll see you when I've finished the sleeve ribbing as well. And it is complete. So the full cardigan is now finished. I have finished the sleeves with the ribbing. I ended up doing 17 up and down in the back loop only, which does seem like a really random number, but 15 didn't seem quite enough and 20 seemed excessive. So 17 was a good kind of middle ground, and it's worked really nicely. And then I did 4 slip stitches along as well, and that has given me the perfect amount of rows to have a lovely cinched in sleeve with a nice kind of puff sleeve effect. What I could have done is I could have decreased when I was doing the main sleeve, and that would have given a more tapered look, and I would have had enough yarn to make it a bit longer. But what I was visualising was this kind of like puffy sleeve, so I'm really glad I've gone for this. I've added the buttons. These are buttons I just found in a charity shop, and I will add a video here of me trying this on so you can see the full thing. One thing I do have left to do is to block this. Now this is acrylic yarn, so I've got 3 options. I could steam, I could wet block, or I could, what's the third one? Whatever the third one is. I'm sure it'll come to me shortly. And I can't decide which one is best for acrylic crochet. I'm definitely being lazy. I do need to do it because, especially in the sleeves, it will help it stretch a little bit, just relax these fibres. I've also heard it's not permanent though, do you know, if you block acrylic. So if you do have any advice, if you have tried and tested methods that you would recommend, please let me know in the comments down below, or message me over on Instagram, because I would really love to know what your opinions on it is. I've looked at a few different blogs, but everyone's got different opinions, and I just need to hear it from somebody who's done it before, you know. But that is everything. Thank you so much if you have watched this video. If you have been inspired by this cardigan, please let me know. And do go and watch, I think it's Craft and Cuppa, for her original Hexi Granny tutorial, which is what I was originally inspired by 3 cardigans ago, however many it was. And thank you very much. If you would like to, please subscribe and like this video if you did enjoy it, and go follow me over on Instagram at Snowdrop Crafts, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Bye.